Thank you for watching, liking, commenting, sharing, and subscribing right now.
And going to be uploaded to YouTube. So could you say hi, YouTube? So I happen to have about 200,000 people who follow me on YouTube. And I make money. We all like to make money, don't we? I know of kids fresh out of high school who are now making more money than both their parents combined by doing videos on YouTube. And all they do is be themselves. So I'm going to ask a question. I realize no one may have the answer in the room. Does anybody recognize what I'm wearing? A sweater, okay. Okay, so what kind of hoodie or sweater am I wearing? What is this? It's a zip-up, yes. It's a character from a movie. It's not E.T. Star Wars, okay. Boba Fett, yeah, very good, Boba Fett. It's a Mandalorian warrior, and I could even pull this up over my head and have the thing. So when I wear this hoodie or sweater in a video, people who watch the video, it's advertising. People who watch the video want to get a hold of what I happen to be wearing, and if they happen to purchase through a link that I share, I can actually make money from that referral. It's not rocket science. So I know that Barry had a whole bunch of bullet points there. To me, it was overwhelming. I didn't do any of that. So if you've never written a business plan, if you have no idea how to do it, don't worry about it, because I never did either. I have a short attention span, and I'm sure many of you do as well. But the bottom line is, if you have a passion, whatever that happens to be, you can figure out a way how to parlay that, your interests, your hobbies, whatever, into a career. When people ask me what I do, I say I'm myself. I create content, by and large, whether it's putting a video up on YouTube, posting on a website. My background, by the way, I graduated with a degree in English education from the University of Northern Iowa. Has anybody heard of Iowa? Has anybody been to Iowa? Wow, one, okay. Shock. Yeah, that's more than usual. So I moved from Iowa. I was hired to become a television show host on a cable network that's no longer around. And essentially, I was asked to educate the viewers about technology. So I'm addicted to gadgets. If you haven't figured it out by now, I'm a geek. And I have about 700 apps installed on my iPhone or iPod Touch. I love software. And I figured out, well, hey, I like software so much and sharing these experiences with people, there's a delta. There's a crossing point at which I can share my knowledge with other people and make money at the same time. And the internet is pretty much the way that I do it, primarily. And I'm assuming that many of you have been on the internet at least once. And that could be a bad assumption, I don't know. Is it a bad assumption, or have you been online before? Most people got a Facebook account or whatever it happens to be. There are plenty of opportunities to use what you have at your fingertips and make money. How I got on stage today, I met Barry through another professor at UW when I presented at a local Rotary Club, and they were awarding students for all their achievements. Something I know nothing about, straight B student. I'm not a business person. I'm just myself. So don't think that an entrepreneur or a way to make money, you have to be a certain way. You can be anything. You can do anything. I'm not kidding. I'm living proof. If I can stand up here on stage, geeking out, and still know that it's going to work for me, that's all that matters. Success isn't necessarily making a lot of money. Success is what you make it. So I could say I've been successful because I reach people. I might inspire people, and that to me is success. Yesterday I got an email from someone in Ghana. He was asking about the robotics that we were just talking about in a recent video that I did, because it was interesting to him. And he was looking for a gateway. He wanted to know more, something that interested him. You don't have to be interested in technology to know that technology can help. There are great ways of reaching people online. And all I did was just put 2 and 2 together. I got 4, luckily, and made more than $4, happily, and have continued to do that for 15 years. But when I went to an entrepreneur center in my university, way back in the day, they didn't know what the internet was back in 1996, and it was there. And I was so overwhelmed. He says, no, you have to have a business plan, a marketing plan, you have to figure out this. Well, my plan is to be in business. That's it. And I was able to figure out how to do that, and it changes every 6 months or so. Anybody and everybody has a possibility of taking your passions, your interests, whatever drives you, and figuring out how to make money with it. That's the bottom line. And I'm seeing on an increasing basis people graduating from high school or college saying, I don't know what I want to do. Many of us still don't know what we want to do, but we figure it out. You could give me just a seed of an idea, and maybe within 5 minutes or so, I could tell you how to make money with it. I love doing it, seriously. Does anybody got a crazy idea? Because that's what you got to be an entrepreneur. You don't have to be a business person. You have to be crazy. You have to be nuts. You have to do something that nobody else does. Lucky for me, my business model is predicated on being myself. So thank God there's only one of me on this planet. So does anybody have like a crazy idea that they think might work? Because I'll tell you one thing. You think, you want your own talk show? You can do it. I'm telling you, YouTube's an amazing gateway to have that talk show, whatever it happens to be. And the thing that you do today won't be the thing you do 3 years from now. I look at the stuff I did last year and I cringe because I was so bad. With life, you just improve over time. You learn what works and what doesn't. And you accentuate what works well, the people that you reach, your audience, what they react to and what they don't. And that's going to constantly change. You're going to take a guess. You're going to say, you know, I want to talk about this. This is what I'm interested in. And that can grow. So I'm interested in technology, so a lot of the things I talk about are generally things that might help people make a decision. Should I buy an Android phone or an iPhone? Well, I'm sure people have opinions. Androids or iPhones in the audience? I don't know. iPhone. See, I'm telling you, this always starts wars. It always starts wars. So on a whim, okay, so just kind of letting my geek flag fly, is anybody familiar with Lego? Okay, I love Lego. I'm what they call an adult fan of Lego. And I decided to figure out a way to get someone else to pay for the Lego Death Star. So it's an expensive Lego set. And I put this online and the audience just went nuts. I was like, but I had no idea you guys were even interested in this other part of me. So you will learn, you'll find your audience, you will find your voice. And what you do today will not be the same thing you do a year from now. And you'll always look back and say, wow, that's how far I've come. You can absolutely do it. And the way you make money with a talk show, and it's going to start out small. It's going to start out with potentially a very, not a very wide reach, but you can find sponsors. If your message happens to be, and I'm just going to use my example, Lego, I would try to find potentially toy stores or entities that sell Lego and say, you know what, I will promote your brand as the place to get it over everybody else's, and then you could pay me to get access to my audience. That's your revenue model. You can do it. Anybody can. I'm not kidding. I've seen it happen, but you have to be crazy. Doing anything online too, you have to have a thick skin. A real thick skin. Because some people don't realize that they're communicating with other people, and they tend to objectify you and think that you are who they think you are. And as long as you understand you are who you are and nobody can tell you who you are, you'll be fine. There can be tougher days, but you are who you are. Don't let anybody tell you that otherwise. And that goes for anybody. Whether you want to do a talk show online or anything you do of yourself. You're going to be told you're nuts. My dad thought I was crazy. I had student loans out the wazoo, which, by the way, I paid off by writing my first book. I figured out how to get someone else to pay off the student loans. Got to think creatively. And I told my dad, hey, I want to send out information online. in a day and age that the .com thing wasn't really happening. He didn't get it. He really didn't. Bless his heart. So one day, and I think I don't know how I'm doing on time, but so one day we walk into Best Buy, and I'm standing there and I'm in the software aisle as I think they still have software aisles at stores. And I'm standing there and I'm looking at, I see this guy, he's holding on to 2 programs. And he's going back and forth between them, and I like helping people. So I walk up to him and I said, yeah, this is the one you want, it's a better program. And we talked for about 5-10 minutes. My dad was off somewhere else, looking at GPSs or something in the store. And I said, well, if you have any questions about this, you can just drop me a line, drop me an email, and I handed him my business card, which I don't even carry business cards anymore. And he looked at it, and he looked at me, and he looked at it again. He says, this is you? I said, well, yeah, it's me. He said, well, I've been a subscriber of yours since January, a few months. The first time I'd ever met someone in real life after connecting with thousands of people online. And I said, wait right there. I went and found my dad and I brought him over. I said, Dad, this is what I'm doing. See the joy and elation in this guy's face, and that guy even brought over his young son. And he says, you know, son, you know that guy that we read online, he writes stuff about technology? Yeah, this is him. And my dad got it. He realized I was connecting with other people and had somehow magically figured out a way to make money. So it doesn't matter what you do, and if people tell you, no, that's crazy, it's been done. It's not the idea, it's the execution. So you may have the idea that somebody else has. Doesn't matter. There are a lot of ideas floating out there. It's never the idea. It starts with the idea, but then it's the execution. It's how you do it. It's how you play it out. So believe me, everybody in this room, if you have an inkling of wanting to just be yourself and do the things you love to do for the rest of your life, there are plenty of opportunities. Whether you call yourself an entrepreneur or not, you will see these opportunities unfold. Explore. Think about it. Trust me. The idea may be in that head. It's germinating. It's sitting there bubbling up, kind of like Pop Rocks. Did you see the video? The grandmother ate Pop Rocks for the first time on YouTube. You see that one? Okay, Google it. It is pretty funny. That was not my grandmother. So just FYI. Not that it matters or anything. So if you do want to get a hold of me, you can. You can go ahead and Google Chris. Right now, Chris Brown is beating me, not physically, but he's above me on the ranking. But you can find Chris Perillo's right there at the top. So if you don't know how to spell my last name, it's not a big deal. You can look me up. You can email me, chris@perillo.com. You can Google me and find me if you have questions and you have an idea and you're looking for a way to make that idea a reality. And I'll do my best to help each and every one of you in the room if you were even paying attention. You were paying attention, right? Okay, 4 of you. Great, good to know. Barry, I think that's wait, what's that? Is there time for questions, or I don't know how? Do you have any questions? How old am I? Any guesses? 30? 57? 40? 57? 27? 43? 24? You guys are all off. And I got the driver's license to prove it, although I'm not going to pass that around. 35, 25, I love this. This is great. Every time I get carded, I make whoever's doing it guess, and they never get it right. I'm 38. Yeah, 38. The secret, I never go outside. So I never physically age. I'm actually 74. I've never aged a day in my life. No, I really am 38 years old. 2 more years, and I'll be quote-unquote over the hill. It's kind of scary. But the nice thing is, I'm able to work at home. I've got a home office with a couple of tiny dogs that will often run in. And I'm able to enjoy a personal life as well as a business life kind of at the same time. And anybody can do that if that's something that you want to do. Any other questions?
Are you married?
Am I married? No, but I have a wonderful, beautiful girlfriend who happens to be in the audience. Where I'm not gonna point her out because she might get embarrassed. If she wants to say hello, she can raise her hand somewhere in the audience. I don't know where really. But she's here. There she is. There's my girlfriend. I am not married, but we're pre-engaged. Just so you know, her name is Diana. No, she trust me. This relationship works well because she's very shy. So attention back up here to the moron on stage. Great. Any other questions? Can I what? Is that the dancing thing y'all did? No. And I'm not gonna try either. I'm very grateful that was not, no, you don't want to see. Try it, no. Because see, I'm very aware of what happens anywhere goes on YouTube. Now granted, a lot of the stuff I've done, I don't know what to try. Like that. So wait, this involves some kind of rhythm that I lack. I can't do it. You could give me something. You gotta understand, I listen to folk music and Weird Al Yankovic and, you know, They Might Be Giants, really, and jazz. I can do this. I can bobblehead. Is that a move? It's not. Any other questions now that the dancing portion? I was told there would be no dancing on this thing. Do I know? Can I do a cartwheel? I probably could, but no. Questions? Yes. How much money do I make? Enough to support the things that I want to do. What do I want to do? Be happy. And but that's a bottom line, is to be happy. So my ultimate goal is certainly to make more money, but I'm able to generate enough revenue from what I do to be able to support other people who are able to work with me. So I'm able to pay them for the work that they're able to do to help me do what I do best. Do I have a car? There's no stalkers. This is getting kind of creepy. No, fair enough. Yes, I do have a car. Okay. It is not going to be anything that impresses you. It is I lease a vehicle that gets amazing mileage. It's a Prius. And you know what? I'm happy. How much money do I make? Like I said, I make enough to be able to support a lifestyle that I want to live and other people. Do I play video games? You know, most of the video games that I play are honestly on my phone. I'm a casual gamer, so like Angry Birds and Tetris and that kind of thing. Actually, if you guys have iOS, and I don't think this is available for Android, it's something called Pictorial. It's a fun little, it's a really neat game, and it's currently free in the App Store. You should download it, it's a fun one. What was my first video about? Actually, I made it to the front of YouTube. Well, granted, I've been doing videos from long before YouTube was online. But the first YouTube video I did, now that I've got close to 4,000, was, so I fly across the country and potentially the world to speak at different events. And so I'm used to being on planes a lot for business and taking business meetings. And I get used to hearing the overhead instructions that you hear, like, ladies and gentlemen, you know, buckle your seatbelt, you do it like this, and if you don't know how to do it, you're an idiot, and that kind of thing. So I've heard it enough times, so when the automated, the voice they had like on a pre-record started playing back, I started mimicking what it would look like. And so I was basically a jackass in front of the camera, which isn't that much of a stretch. I don't need a camera optional. And recorded it and put it on YouTube, and then it was a while ago, but it ended up hitting the front page of YouTube. But I mean, I was doing videos before then, but that was the first one I did. Has nothing to do, I never thought I was funny or remotely wanted to get into comedy. I was just myself.
How tall are you?
I'm 5'5". But an amazing 5'5", and let me tell you. You know, honestly, you asked why I do, maybe you didn't ask why I do what I do. I'm more motivated by what I don't want. I don't want to wear a tie, ever. Why? To me, they're just uncomfortable. I never liked them. Question way in the back. Do I have any useful talent? Oh, musical, thank you. God, I was like, oh, wow. Talk about being decimated, tough crowd. Do I have any musical talent? My girlfriend says I do. However, beyond warbling in the shower, I've only done, I'm not singing anything. So I see everyone's recording videos. I guess I'm Creative Commons licensing, attribution, share alike. If you want to use this video on YouTube or Facebook. Hey, we saw this moron on stage and we had him sing and dance. I don't know what to sing. I've never done this. I did theater in high school, and it wasn't music. I don't know how to sing. That's really, you saw my rhythm. That's how I sing. Do like Beyonce? Do I look like Beyonce? Yes. Apparently, I don't know Beyonce as well as I thought I did. Have I met her? No. But I've met a few of my heroes. And the nice thing about doing things the way I've done things is sometimes I will find that they actually know of me, and you create this kind of mutual admiration society is what they've called it. So other luminaries that might be in my field, I'm always surprised to find out that they have seen some of the things that I've done, and that sometimes is a bit nerve-wracking, but as long as I continue to do it, hopefully I'll be able to continue to meet my own heroes. Who endorses me? Just depends. A variety of companies, honestly, as long as I'm transparent about who happens to be sponsoring or who's paying for something, it's okay. Transparency would be making sure that people knew that I was being sponsored by somebody. There's a question back here. What famous people have I met? Well, I've met Bill Gates, the junior, I guess, not the senior guy. He's a nice guy. He's really genuine. I've met Steve Wozniak, co-founder of Apple Computers. Really nice guy. I had him speak at my conference 2004. Really laid back and a genuine geek. I've also met Steve Jobs, and I was very grateful for having met him. Actually, the way I met Steve Jobs, I was buying my first Mac, because I was a PC guy, and I kind of live in both worlds. I was buying my first Mac at the Palo Alto Apple store, and I walk in and I see him, and I was, oh my God, this is a huge guy here. I mean, he's not that big, but I walk up to him and said, hi, my name's Chris Perillo, and at the time I was hosting this TV show, and I said, yeah. I said, buy the iMac with the SuperDrive. So he sold me his computer, like, that I was there to buy anyway. That was my run-in with Steve Jobs. I've certainly met a handful of, I guess, celebrities of sorts. I'm trying to think offhand. Weird Al Yankovic, sorry guys. I've been listening to him since I was in the 7th grade, and I'm not going to stop. They Might Be Giants, another one of my favorite musical groups. No, I'm not going to sing it. That's just for the shower, and that never gets uploaded. Any other questions? And I think, are you chomping at the bit to... Did I play sports? I got a funny history with sports. I've tried every sport. I did as growing up. In the 7th grade, I decided to try out and they took me, for tackle football in a Catholic football league. And I was given the position of right end. I never made it past the line of scrimmage. So yeah, I tried sports, and I realized that I'm not even good at the video game sports, honestly. Sports and we have this hate relationship between each other. But I tried. That was the thing, is I did try. Yes? My favorite app? God, it depends on what it is that I want to do. And I get asked that quite frequently, like, what is my favorite app? I've got a billion recommendations. I think more than anything, I try to impart this to my audience or anybody who might dare to listen. This is pretty much a mobile office, so I can use an app called JotNot to turn this iPhone into a portable scanner and scan in receipts. Ooh, actually, I know what you guys are going to love, and this is available on both Android and iPhone. It's an application called Perk, and with Perk, that's P-I-R-Q, it's a free application. I love talking about it, and I ended up meeting the founders. What this does is it's only available in the Seattle area. It will geolocate you. It'll tell you where you're standing, and tell me if there are any current offers right now. So I could go to Cafe Ladro in Bothell and get 50% off my coffee just by going, yeah, I'm going to be there between this time and this time. Press yes, I'd like that, and then go in there and scan the code using the camera on the phone, and they'll give me the money off. I've saved. We went out to eat last night. We saved like half off our bill. And this is a free application that you can use to save. So if you're asking my free app, I love saving money. So this saved probably a total in the times that we've gone out with for either business or just personal stuff, probably a couple $100. And we got 50% off Ben & Jerry's ice cream just for using the free application that's sitting right there, waiting to be plucked. You guys are going to become heroes, trust me. PIRQ. It's only available in right now at just a certain amount of restaurants in the Seattle area. Red Mango is one of them. Ben & Jerry's, another favorite. A few coffee shops, potentially a restaurant that you frequent or would like to go to. I have no problem in using an application that's going to save any degree of money, because then I can use that money elsewhere. Yes? Do I have a YouTube partnership? Yes, I do. In fact, I was one of the first YouTube partners selected because of my prolific publishing of content. I was always putting it on there. It's relatively easy to become a YouTube partner and to define that for everybody. When you're producing videos on YouTube, when you start out, you just get a YouTube account. But if you're creating videos that seem to be getting a lot of comments, likes, clicks, views, YouTube is going to see that and say, hey, you know what? Would you like to make some money with your videos? Now granted, the money that you're going to make is, honestly, it's pocket change. It's not much. I would not be able to do what I do if I just relied on YouTube. I have several, English major here. I have several sources of revenue, so that's just one part of it. YouTube partnership is easy to attain if you understand the value of community and connecting with people who have similar interests. And I can't go into it right now. I have a whole presentation on how to create or how to engage a community online. There are people out there who are exactly like you. You may not know them yet. You may not have met. You may not have connected in any way, but there are people out there who have similar interests. We're like walking Venn diagrams, I always say. I'll spare you, I'll give you the visual. Are you familiar with the Zen, was that a dance? That was my visual Venn diagram, where you have, so I live in Seattle, I like coffee, I have an iPhone, and there's an intersection right in the middle. You've probably seen those bubbles before. I've done an entire presentation on community and how to build that community so that when you are, you're thinking about doing content specifically on YouTube, you have an audience that is already following you elsewhere. But obviously I can't get into that right now. We're good? Okay. Thank you for the wide array of questions and giving me your time and attention.